Welcome to part 2 of the Ultimate Weight Loss Workshop. In the first video, you learned how to lose weight without starving yourself. And today, I'll teach you how to keep it off so that this is the last time you will ever have to lose weight. Then in the third video, you'll learn how to overcome external obstacles. Now, this is vital because the world is filled with temptations, stress, social pressures, and so on. It's not set up for you to lose weight. In fact, in many ways, it's set up to make you and keep you fat, sick, and miserable. And we'll break through that devious web in the next video. So if you missed the first video, go back and watch it right now. There's a link at the top of this page. And then come back here and join me for video 3 as well. With that out of the way, let me just say thank you. The response to the first video has been incredible, and I'm so happy that my story and the lessons are inspiring enough for you to take action. You see, I don't believe in accidents. There must be a reason that you're watching this video. Maybe you're like me and have suffered so many setbacks and you've given up. Or maybe you've hit a plateau and wonder what to do next. Or maybe you've reached your goal weight but struggle to maintain it. Wherever you are in your journey, I have been there. I was the 4th generation of obese women in my family. In high school, they called me Flabby Abby, and I struggled with my weight for over 50 years. So let's put an end to this misery, and the fact that you're here, getting involved, learning new strategies, and investing in yourself speaks volumes. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I know, and I believe in you. So are you ready to get started with part 2? You see, losing weight is actually the easy part, because any diet that restricts calories will lead to weight loss, right? You know, it requires absolutely no imagination or nutritional knowledge to lose weight. Like Dr. Goldhammer says, if I were to lock you up in a prison cell and feed you lettuce, you will lose weight. Anyone would. The problem is that with all those restrictive diets, they don't work long term. And that's the number one mistake I see people make. They have a plan to lose weight, but that plan doesn't work long term. And if weight loss plan doesn't work long term, what happens? You yo-yo diet. We've all been there. So the real question is, how can you lose weight and keep it off afterwards? And that's what you'll learn today. And we'll be covering a lot of ground. So be sure to download the PDF, Keeping It Off, on this page so that you can follow along and take notes if you like. Now, before I share with you the 5 strategies to keeping the weight off, let's have a look at why it's so tough to keep the weight off. And there's 3 factors at play: biological, psychological, and social. Now, to understand the biological factor, let's say we have 2 twins. One is called Roseanne and one is called Louisa. One gained weight on the trip to Europe, and when Louisa goes home, she diets and loses weight. Now, this is the crazy part. Even though that Louisa is at the same weight as her sister Rosanna and has the same DNA, she has to eat less to stay at her healthy weight compared to her sister, who never had to lose weight in the first place. Now, think about this for a second. After losing weight, you have to eat less than another person that's the same weight? This is what researchers call metabolic adaptation, or the calorie penalty. And this situation is real. These people are real. This calorie penalty can be as much as 25%. That means you might have to eat a quarter less than somebody of your weight just to keep that weight off. And I talked to James Hill, the founder of the biggest registry on sustainable weight loss, and he told me he has no reason to believe that this penalty really vanishes over time. Add to that our biological instincts to seek out calorie-rich food for survival, and you can see how difficult this problem becomes. On top of this, you have psychological factors. First and foremost, habits. If your weight loss plan is not a plan for lifelong healthy living, you'll reach a point where you abandon ship. And when you do that without having acquired new habits, you go back to the old ones. The same habits that made us fat in the first place. And let's not even talk about the social dynamics, because food is part of our culture. It's how we express appreciation, it's how we connect, and at the same time, we know that our willpower depletes with every decision we have to make. Research shows that we make an average of 200 food decisions every day, and we see an ad here, a snack there lying on the counter of the gas station. It's no surprise that we start diets with enthusiasm and vigor, and then in a few weeks, we have our first slip up. In a few months, maybe we've gotten off track completely, and it's not your fault. That's the result of putting our human body in a food environment that it was never designed for. But the good news is that you'll learn all the strategies to counteract those external forces that try to pull you off track in the next video. But for now, remember that you need strategies that make staying on track easy and enjoyable. You see, I believe in keeping things simple, and all you need is a few fundamental skills. You learned in the first video that the key to losing weight is selecting the right foods to eat. Foods that are low in calorie density, which are higher in nutrient density, and satisfying at the same time. But the key to keeping weight off is to keep eating those foods. So the 5 strategies I'll share with you today will empower you to control what you eat and make sure that you are loving the food. I mean, I'm a chef after all, and I love my food. I love to eat. So how can you incorporate more of the weight loss compliant foods in your diet? Well, strategy 1 is simple swaps. We're all used to eating certain things. Unfortunately, the version in which we're eating them at the moment may not be helping our weight. So all you have to do is replace those with a healthier version. Some easy swaps include drinking soda water flavored with fruity balsamic vinegar instead of soda, or you can use sugar-free ketchup, or you can replace mayonnaise with mustard, or oily hash browns with oil-free hash browns in a panini press, which, by the way, tastes much better. You can replace oil soggy French fries with crisp oil-free fries made in an air fryer. And I'm telling you, they're 10 times better tasting and better for you. And the trick to perfect fries is cooking them first. I promise you'll never go back. If you love ice cream, you can enjoy nice cream instead. Just freeze some bananas and run them through your favorite machine. Enjoying ice cream has never been easier or more delicious because it's 100% guilt-free. You see, swaps allow you to keep enjoying your favorite dishes, but in a healthier, guilt-free version. Yeah, it may not taste 100% the same at first, but you will get that same feeling and satisfaction, and the pleasure you'll get because you won't have guilt will be enormous. As a chef, I can tell you those healthy versions taste better. Take ice cream, for example. When they advertise they have 10% real fruit, well, how about 100% real fruit, night and day? Brings me to the next strategy. Strategy number 2 is learn new recipes. The next step from swaps is to just learn a few recipes. I know what you're thinking, well, you're a chef, it's easy for you, but honestly, I am one of the most lazy cooks. If I'm not cooking for other people, I just prefer to keep it simple and flavorful. Here's a few crowd pleasers that everyone will love, even if they're not trying to lose weight. My black bean mushroom chili, which is my husband's favorite, or the red lentil chili. All of these are hearty, filling meals and easy meals to prep. Or the Mexican stuffed potatoes, the burgers Italiano, eggplant tapenade. If you have a sweet tooth, almost instant apple pie rice pudding. The cram muffins, they taste just like carrot cake. Whipped cream made out of peaches or pears. These are all-time favorites. And these are very easy to prepare, and you can enjoy them without the guilt. Now, really, all you need is a few recipes that you love. I mean, how many different dishes do you really prepare every week? The chances are you have maybe 5 to 10 favorite recipes that you eat over and over again. This strategy takes a short learning curve, but it's so vital to your success, because if the only recipes you know are how to order pizza or get to the fast food drive-thru, then you're putting your health and your weight loss success into the hands of businesses that care about profit and not your well-being. So promise me, just learn a few new recipes. You don't have to become a chef. Just learn a few recipes, and this will make a huge difference for you. And the recipes can be simple and tasty. To prove to you that I'm giving you a couple of these favorite recipes in the PDF below, so be sure to download them. Now, strategy 3 is to watch out for oil. Now, why would you want to watch out for oil? Because it's 4,000 calories a pound. That's 40 times more calorically dense than vegetables. It's fat that is extracted from other foods, and it goes straight to your fat cells. So if you're trying to get fat, oil is what you'd want to pour on your food. But if you're not trying to get fat, then skip the oil. It's not only the highest food in caloric density, but it's bad for your heart. Dr. Caldwell B. Esselstyn, who has reversed heart disease, does not allow any of his patients suffering from cardiac disease to consume any oil. And oils are extremely unstable under heat, light, and pressure, which causes oxidation and releases dangerous compounds, such as aldehyde, which has been linked to illnesses, including cancer, heart disease, dementia. And to top it off, oil puts a film over your tongue, preventing your taste buds from really tasting the actual food. Now, I know what you may be thinking. How can you cook food without oil? Well, it's quite simple, really. Actually, depending on what you're using the oil for, you can replace it with vegetable broth, aquafaba, even water. So you don't have to change your cooking style, just swap oil with something healthier. And a last tip on oil, stay out of restaurants. As a former chef, I can tell you that restaurant dishes are smothered with oil, and a single dish on average can make up more than half your calorie daily requirements. Now, strategy 4 is to prep ahead of time, and this may be one of the most powerful strategies, and here's why. If you surround yourself with healthy food options, you won't have to revert to junk food or restaurants when you're hungry. And the best part, most of the dishes that are good for weight loss can be prepped. That means you can cook for more than one meal and keep the remaining in the refrigerator or the freezer and then just pop it in the microwave next time and you're good to go. You see, when you're hungry, stressed, or running short on time, this isn't the time you want to start cooking. Instead, prep your meals ahead of time. It takes the same amount of time to cook 4 servings of a recipe as it does to cook 1 serving. I even go as far as prepping the next dish when I'm about to finish the current one. That way I'm always prepared and I don't leave my food choices to chance. Strategy 5 is to use tools that simplify things. I know you may not be too confident in the kitchen yet, which is totally fine. I personally cook most of my dishes in an Instant Pot. It's an electric pressure cooker that allows you to just toss the ingredients inside, press a button, and then walk away. It does the rest for you. On top of that, you can buy pre-chopped and already washed vegetables. Then it's literally as simple as throwing some ingredients in, adding seasoning, and let the Instant Pot do the rest. I also use a panini press, an air fryer, a blender. But these tools make things quick and easy, even if you're not a trained chef. So there you have it, 5 strategies to help keep you eating well, losing weight, and loving it. So let me repeat. There's simple swaps, learning a few new recipes, watching out for oil, prepping meals ahead of time, and using tools that will simplify this. I know some of this may be new to you, but in return, you can eat whenever you want, whatever you want, how much as you want, as long as you're following the principles of calorie density that you learned in video 1. Now, how amazing is that? So I encourage you to follow these tips over the next 30 days and watch what happens. See if your clothes don't start to get looser and everything fits a little more baggy. See if the scale doesn't start to move. The fact is, this has never not worked. As long as you can stay the course with the 5 strategies you've learned today and eat exclusively the foods that are health promoting and in line with calorie density, which you learned in video 1, you will see results. There's only one major problem. The world around you is set up to pull you off track. Companies spend billions to manipulate our eating behavior to artificially stimulate our taste buds so that we get hooked on foods that are bad for us, that draw us in by making it easy and fast. Did you know, for example, that certain hyperpalatable foods create a dopamine rush in your brain with each bite of food? And this is an addictive quality similar to drugs. On top of that, you may be surrounded by others who are in the same situation and would tempt you to join them eating in unhealthy food. With the odds stacked against you, how can you possibly succeed? Well, that's exactly what we'll cover in the next video. So unless you want to live in isolation under a rock, somewhere in the wilderness, the next video will be vital for your success. You're going to love this one because you'll learn how to follow your health journey without confronting anyone, and you'll discover the strategies I use to change my environment and circumstances in my favor. And I'll teach you a mental judo technique where you can defuse anyone attempting to pull you off track. Now I want to hear from you. Which of the 5 strategies you've learned here today will you implement? Which one resonated with you in particular? Let me know in the comments below. If you found value in this video, please share it with at least 3 people you care about, especially if they have a desire to lose weight in a healthy way. It's always easier if you have others by your side. Thanks, and I will see you in the next video.